In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get high quality leads from Instagram utilizing spreadsheets to create a list of Instagram pages within your niche. So to get started, we're just going to open up a simple Google spreadsheet in Google Drive. You can use Microsoft Excel or any other software, it's completely fine, doesn't really matter. But we're just going to use this to lay out all of our leads and show them all in one document. So I'm just opening up some of these here, and then I'm just going to open up a few of these a little bit more. This step is not mandatory, but really does help when collecting them. And I'm just going to press Control A and then make sure all of these are set like that so we don't get text going everywhere. And then so titling the document Instagram leads, just help us keep track of it. And then I'm going to write URL in this one. And then what I'm going to do is followers in this one. And so we're going to leave these plain, the rest of them plain for now. But when contacting the leads, it's really important to have a section where you can talk about a few other bits and pieces in there. So I'll just put this first section in bold, and then that'll just keep track of it all. Now, before we actually begin finding leads on Instagram, we've got to make sure we've decided our niche or our specific audience, as well as the certain requirements that we have for what we're looking for. Because obviously you can't just contact every single page on Instagram. You've got to have someone that actually matches what you're looking for, or a page that matches what you're looking for. So as you can see on screen, we have the three main niches we are looking at. So this includes motivational pages, e-commerce brands, and freelancers, or like marketers, or just people who do services. So it doesn't really matter what your niche is. It's all based on what you're working towards, or what the goal is of whatever you're doing. But it's good to stick to a few selections of niches. So I've got a few examples here. And now what you can see is our certain requirements that we have. So for this particular scenario, we're going to be looking at pages between 20,000 and 500,000 followers. We're going to make sure that these pages have posted within about the last month, just to make sure they're active. And we want to make sure that they've also got lots of likes in comparison to their followers. So if a page has, say, 100,000 followers and they're only getting maybe a few hundred likes on their posts, there's an obvious issue there with their actual quality of their followers. So we want to avoid those pages. And we want to make sure that these pages have over 100 posts, just to make sure that these pages are actually running and they're consistent and they've actually got lots of content and they're a decent size, not just looking at them based on the amount of followers they have. And so these requirements are just for this scenario. You'll modify these requirements and you'll have different variables you'll be looking at based on what your scenario is and what you're working towards. So it doesn't matter too much, but it's good to look at these things to narrow down your search. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go to the search bar to start off finding these leads, and I'm going to select a keyword that I think relates to my area. So self-improvement is obviously a very clear thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a few of these pages, just a few of them, and I'm going to look for a page with about that many followers within my niche. So this seems to have more of a meme type style, so I'm not looking for that. This is good. Not enough followers, not enough followers. Just cut out all these, that's fine, but I'm already following them, so I'll avoid that. No, and no. So I'm just going to get this one. And what you want to do is you want to find pages that are nearly exactly what you're looking for, right in the middle of your perfect kind of page kind of thing. And then what you want to do is go and follow this page. And then what you'll see is you'll have this option for suggested pages. And then what we can do here is click See All. And then this will give us an amazing selection of pages very similar to this. So then what we can do is we can begin to open up all of these different pages and then narrow down our search based on the requirements we gave. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so now I've managed to get to the end of the list. It stops at, I don't know what number, but decent amount, so I've got a ridiculous amount of tabs open. So I'll just close this, well, actually, unless we want to keep this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the really obvious ones that shouldn't be in here. So the ones that aren't within our follower range. So that's within it. That's so close, but I'll consider it. That's within it. That's within it. That's within it. So a lot of these are really within it. So I'll just quickly go through all these now. Okay, so good news and bad news. Good news is I've now narrowed down the search so that we no longer have pages that don't have the right amount of followers or the right amount of posts. However, we have the issue where we have a lot of them, but that's not all bad, is it? So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go through the list again, and I'm going to look for two new things. I'm going to look at the most recent posts, noting to avoid pinned posts because these aren't recent. And I'm going to have a look at when they came out to make sure they're recent and to get an idea if the page is actually getting enough likes. So having a look at this one, obviously definitely very new, and we're seeing that consistently with all their posts. So that works out, and we're seeing quite a few hundred and a few posts with in the thousands of likes, which is a very good sign. Maybe would expect a bit more from this kind of page, but that's not too bad. And then so I'm going to just repeat that process for all of them. Okay, awesome. So we've now narrowed down our search by a heap, which is pretty good news. So now all we need to do is fill out this information into a spreadsheet. So it's literally as simple as, I might just remove that little bit of the links, we don't want that. It is literally as simple as copying the URL for a page, placing it in, having a look at their followers, 164k, and then just filling that out for all of them. And then once you've collected a full extensive list, and I'd recommend getting a few hundred at the minimum, otherwise really it's not worth it. Then once you actually begin contacting them, then you can start writing the details in here about how you're progressing in regards to that contacting of the leads. And then what you can do from here to get more and more is just follow more pages and have a look through their suggested. And then what you need to start doing is having a search on your list to make sure that you don't have any duplicates. But the really good thing with suggested is you get mostly active accounts. So they've got recent posts in most cases, they've got a good amount of followers, they're matching the one that you followed to get the suggested. So really good system to do that. So I'll just close all these off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going on this account now, and I'm just going to go to Instagram. And I'm not going to go through the full process again because you already know what to do. But the idea is what you can do for different audiences is you just search it in. So maybe it's some kind of freelancer or agency or something. So you'd write in services like that, and maybe add some keyword to it like marketing or something. And then what you can do is just find a few that you think might work, try and get something that you think matches pretty well, follow them, look at their suggested whatever. Or if it's an e-commerce brand, you can search up some kind of niche, like maybe pet products, and then you might get some kind of thing that you think suitable, and maybe go, oh, this one's good, let's follow this one, and then look at the suggested. But it is worth noting that I'm not sure why, but this account doesn't come up with suggested, so I'd have to move that all the way over to here, paste it in, follow them again. Then I can get some suggested, but as you can see, they're all pet and dog related. So obviously using suggested is the best system for collecting leads. Awesome, so that pretty much sums it up. It's pretty simple, and that's kind of the idea behind it. You want it to be an efficient system, because otherwise collecting hundreds or thousands of leads manually would take absolutely ages. So cutting down the process as much as possible and finding the best way to do it really allows you to actually get the most out of manual lead collection. And so if you stick at it, eventually you should be able to reach much longer lead lists such as this as you start contacting them. If you guys want me to do a video on this contacting process and the different methods for actually engaging in these leads and getting clients in the end, I'm happy to do a video like that. If I've already done a video, you'll see it popping up on the screen here somewhere, but hopefully that's still to come. Other than that, good luck collecting your leads.